It's Tuesday the 9th of December. From the MEN newsroom, this is Channel M's Lunchtime News, and these are today's headlines. Coming in a moment, the top stories for today we're going to be bringing you between now and 1 o'clock. 3 days to go and almost two-thirds of us still haven't sent back our congestion charge votes.
I think everybody should vote in every election. People have fought and lost their lives for people's right to vote. So you're given an opportunity to vote, so you should use it.
Under the counter, plans to put cigarettes and tobacco out of sight to stop more people buying them.
If it stops 5–10% of people who would have smoked from smoking, that's still a victory.
Plus, the 5-year-old boy with a rare disease who's starring in his own music video.
I don't think really appreciate the situation that he's facing at all, which is great, and long may that remain.
Good afternoon. First, this lunchtime, with just 3 days before the polls close, figures show almost two-thirds of people across Greater Manchester haven't yet voted in the ongoing congestion charge referendum. Only 38.2% of ballot papers have been returned so far. Looking at the figures now, borough by borough, you can see that in the 10 areas, half of them have a turnout so far of more than 40%. Trafford tops the list at 45.9%. Manchester is still the lowest, with just 32% of people sending back their votes. Keeping an eye on the figures is Sir Neil McIntosh.
There is a trend. You get a major surge at the beginning. People, particularly those who are really quite fired up about the issue, will return their ballot papers very quickly. Then it eases off, and then there may be a lift at the back end as people realise they haven't got much time left. The important thing is actually to let them know that this is the time now to complete their ballot papers and return them.
So, with that many papers still to be returned, we've sent Nina Warhurst off to find out why the turnout's still so low.
No, I've not voted yet because I don't really understand what's going on.
You don't really know how it'll affect you, so...
No. I don't reckon there's been proper signposted, and I think it's, there's a bit of a bodge altogether, isn't it?
You've had months to think about it and weeks to return your vote, but so far just 4 out of 10 of you have decided to have your say. Have you voted on the congestion charge referendum yet? Why?
I don't know. I just didn't want to vote.
Why not?
If they're going to do it, they're going to do it anyway, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
So you don't think your vote will count?
No, not really.
I filled my form, sending it out today.
So you filled your form but you haven't sent it yet?
Not yet.
Do you think there'll be a few people like you who haven't managed to?
Probably.
So you don't know anything about it?
No. What is it? Is it about traffic and that?
But hang on, is 40% actually that bad? So far, in each of your 10 local boroughs, 5% more of you have turned out to vote in this than in your local elections, and there's still a few days to go.
It's higher than I thought it would be. I expected it to be an extremely low turnout because of the general democratic deficit that exists within this country.
Maybe the time of year, people have got other things on their minds, kind of thing, you know what I mean? Christmas around the corner, shopping.
Wow, 40%. I just thought people would leave it till the death, and we've still got a few days to go. I'm quite surprised that's high.
So maybe you think 40% is good enough, but come on, people, it was here at the Peterloo Massacre where people lost their lives fighting for the vote. It was here in Greater Manchester where the Trade Union Congress began, where the working classes and where women fought to be heard. So shame on us if 40% is good enough.
Vote. Vote. Because there's no turning back, is there, once the decision's been made?
I think everybody should vote in every election. People have fought and lost their lives for people's right to vote. So you're given an opportunity to vote, so you should use it.
Well, if you've not voted yet, the deadline to return your ballot papers is 10 p.m. on Thursday night. There'll be special boxes around the city for you to put them in on Thursday. The result will be announced on Friday, and we'll have all the build-up to that announcement right through the morning with a specially extended lunchtime news from 11:30 carrying that result live. This afternoon's other top stories now, and a girl who was shot in the eye in Bury over the weekend is still in a critical condition in hospital. She was hit with a pellet from an air rifle at a house on Orham Street on Sunday. It became lodged lodged in her brain. Police haven't yet released any further details about what happened, but they are still questioning a man who they've arrested. The number of mortgages taken out by people buying a home jumped 14% in October. Just under 40,000 were arranged during the month, but figures show the number of loans was still 52% lower than at the same time last year. Displays of cigarettes behind counters in shops are to be banned. The plans are aimed at cutting the number of children smoking. Last year there were 200,000 11 to 15-year-olds who admitted lighting up regularly. Packs will now have to be hidden out of sight. Research from other countries where this has been done has shown it's cut underage smoking rates by as much as 10%. It's also going to be more difficult for under 18s to use cigarette vending machines. Earlier I spoke to Dr Binoj Nair and asked him what he makes of the idea.
Well, as a doctor, anything that we can do to try and reduce the number of smokers is a good thing, especially the number of young underage smokers. That's a great thing. Smoking remains the #1 cause of premature death in this country, and about half of all smokers will die because of their smoking. So anything we can do to try and reduce those numbers is going to be a good thing as far as the medical profession is concerned. So we're all in favour of it.
Now, one of the ideas of this is to cut the number of teenagers and young people who are actually smoking. Just give us an idea for people who do start at such a young age, how much of an effect it's going to have on their health.
Well, like I said, it is the #1 cause of premature death. The vast majority of long-term smokers do tend to start when they're teenagers, and, you know, you get put at risk of the whole myriad of things. Cancers, you're more at risk. Big ones are heart disease and lung cancer, and those are the biggest killers in this country. So if we can reduce the number of people smoking, that's a great thing.
Do you think this is going to work then?
That's the difficult one to say, whether it actually will work or not. I suppose, yeah, it probably will work. I mean, whether it'll have a mass effect, I doubt it. But, you know, even if it doesn't, if it stops 5–10% of people who would have smoked from smoking, that's still a victory.
A report warning that some patients could be putting themselves at risk going to new NHS urgent care centres instead of A&E departments. The College of Emergency Medicine says they're not well thought out and give people going to them fewer treatment options. It also wants the number of emergency consultants to be doubled to provide better care. The bakery Greggs says it's planning further expansion here in the northwest. The chain already has 1,400 sites and wants more to combine a baker's with a cafe. Bosses are also planning on rebranding those called Baker's Oven. They've identified this part of the country as one where they could open new outlets on industrial parks, housing estates and in bus stations. A Manchester City footballer has been mugged on his way home from the club's Christmas party. Darius Vassell had his designer watch and jewellery stolen as he stepped out of a taxi at the junction of Palatine Road and Barlow Moor Road in Didsbury. It happened at 5:30 on Sunday morning as the striker was reportedly disputing his taxi fare. He was threatened by the two offenders but wasn't injured. A former England cricketer is appearing in court charged with drug smuggling after nearly 4 kilograms of cocaine was seized at Gatwick Airport. Fast bowler Chris Lewis, who played 32 tests in the 1990s, was arrested yesterday when UK border agency staff found the drug with an estimated street value of £200,000 hidden in luggage. That, as England's players have said they'll donate half their match fees from Thursday's opening test towards the victims of the terror attacks in Mumbai. The players have put out a joint statement promising fees of around £35,000 for those affected by the attacks of 2 weeks ago, which killed 181 people. Right, time now to take a look at the lunchtime sports headlines with all the details. Here's Sam Goodman.
Thank you, James. Well, good news for Manchester United fans as Cristiano Ronaldo has trained with the squad this morning and should be fit for the Reds game against Aalborg tomorrow. Ronaldo had picked up an injury in the game against Sunderland. It's a big FA Cup night for two of our sides. Droylsden, they travel with a fully fit squad to Chesterfield in their rearranged second-round tie, while Stockport County entertain Gillingham, knowing a win would earn them a home game against Aston Villa next month. And staying with Droylsden, manager Dave Pace is confident his side have what it takes to get past League Two side Chesterfield.
It's great. The FA Cup brings all sorts of things with it, you know, a bit of prestige and you know, everything that comes with it. So it's nice to keep that going, but also nice to win the league. It's going to be difficult because we did our own work. We went to see them and watched videos, and we tried to start to keep away from the front two lads, which we did. It's going to be difficult, and we've just got to do it again. We're going in there to break. We went to Darlington and we lost a keeper after 15 minutes. We got a result there. We came back here, and he thought we threw everything at him, the kitchen sink at him, but we didn't. I said we was in that dressing room, you know, the Darlington game, and said, look lads, there's more to play for. I'm a little bit disappointed. We got the draw at Darlington. Unbelievable.
Denton Golf Club have spent £250,000 on an extension to their clubhouse and professionals shop. It is hoped the move will attract more corporate members to the club at a time when the competition to bring in fresh golfers is as fierce as ever.
We're a forward-thinking club. We're thinking not just for next year, we're thinking in the next 30 years. So I'm going to bring our young golfers on and hopefully retain members that we've got. A lot of golf clubs are losing members, and also, you know, you've just got to keep one step ahead. The corporate route is a great route to go down because we believe we've got some great facilities for corporate members. There's plenty of big companies around the area, and with our location and our facilities, I think we're primed for it, really. Should be really looking forward to doing such things. The room we're in now, this is a private members room. We've got a big facility over there that we can we hire out up to 200 people for weddings, funerals, christenings, etc. And this is a bit of a solace for the members. If they come off the golf course, they've got their own room rather than being sort of pushed out the clubhouse.
A number of children unfortunate enough to find themselves in hospital as Christmas approaches received some special guests the other day, and I think it's fair to say they were knocked for six.
It's been brilliant just to see like the little kids with a smile on their face, because obviously quite a few of them in here are struggling with one thing or another, but just see them smiling, it's brilliant.
I was quite surprised how much there's quite a few cricket supporters in the hospital here, and just talking good knowledge as well amongst the game. And yeah, it's been a good day. Obviously seeing the lads, and it's just an afternoon, and you know, seeing their faces, a smile on their face, has been great.
It's the first time I've ever been to a children's hospital, and I think when you get here, it really is quite a strong impact on you, and I'm just really pleased that you know, maybe we can make a few of the kids smile during obviously some really tough times for them and their parents.
Go on, say hello, I'm Jack.
Hello, I'm Jack.
Just giving them simple things like lollies and just teddy bears, they seem to love it.
Finally, reports coming from Spain have said that former Spurs manager Juan de Ramos will join Real Madrid as they look to sack current manager Bernd Schuster sometime today. But that's all from me for now. Join me again at 5 o'clock, where I'll be showing you some footballing skills that you won't want to miss.
Thanks very much, Sam. We'll look forward to it. Time now to take a look at the latest in our Christmas choir competitions, and it's Millbrook Primary School in Stalybridge. Details of how to vote for them coming next, right after we've heard some of their song, White Christmas.
The third primary school I've been to, and it's the best so far. We have fun teachers, fun lessons, and I have loads and loads of friends.
Well, a big thank you to everyone from Millbrook Primary. You can see more of that performance in our evening news from 5 tonight. If you want to vote for them, you need to text Choir G to 88821. Texts cost 50p plus your normal texting charge. 20p from each of those goes to charity. The text line closes at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Messages sent after that time won't count and may still be charged. You can vote for them again in our hour-long Christmas Choir Contest special this coming weekend. The choir with the most votes will win the coveted Christmas Choir trophy and get to visit our studio at Urbis to perform live. Good luck to everyone who's taking part. Still ahead on the lunchtime news then, the young boy hoping his new music video will be a success story, and we meet the Queen of Green when it comes to environmentally friendly homes.
One of the most useful gadgets that we have is the energy saving monitor, which allows us to see what energy we're using at a time, and if anything is left on and it's higher than it should be, we're aware of it, so we can go and switch it off.
Welcome back to Channel M's Lunchtime News. All of Greater Manchester's main headlines for you every day between 12 and 1. And don't forget you can log on as well to channelm.co.uk for all our latest reports too. On there right now, the student singing for her studies and the online Christmas shopping explosion running at £12,000 a second. That's at channelm.co.uk. Now back to our top story for this lunchtime and the latest turnout figures in the congestion charge referendum. Only 38.2% of ballot papers have been sent back so far, with people wanting to vote on the plans to invest millions of pounds in public transport. Looking at the 10 boroughs across Greater Manchester, you can see that in half of them the turnout has topped 40%, with Trafford leading the way on 45.9%. In Manchester itself, the lowest percentage of papers have been returned, with only 32% of people there so far taking part in the poll. Well, if you've not voted yet, the deadline to return your ballot papers is 10 p.m. on Thursday night. There'll be special boxes around the city for you to put them in on Thursday. The result will be announced on Friday, and we'll have all the build-up to that announcement right through the morning, with a specially extended lunchtime news from 11:30 taking that result live. Now, with the freezing weather and rising energy bills, we're sometimes faced with a difficult choice. Do you crank up the heating and forget about the cost and the eco-damage you're adding to? Well, one Salford woman took on that challenge to save energy, and we went along to meet her.
I did think it'd be difficult with 3 children and my husband for us all to make a difference to the bills with there being 5 of us, but we've all made a big difference, and the children have all changed their attitudes, so between us all we've all managed to reduce the energy that we're using. The kids being involved has really helped them understand not to waste the energy. It's changed their attitudes. They do know now that to switch everything off when it's not in use. My youngest son has even been going into the neighbours and switching their tellies and games off when he's been around playing with his friends. So it's changed their attitudes, which will hopefully help them in the future. One of the most useful gadgets that we have is the energy saving monitor, which allows us to see what energy we're using at a time, and if anything is left on and it's higher than it should be, we're aware of it, so we can go and switch it off. My top tips for anybody wanting to save energy would be make sure everything's switched off when not in use, chargers, TVs, anything, lamps. Change all your bulbs to energy saving bulbs, including outdoor bulbs, and also cavity wall insulation can cut your bills quite considerably.
The man behind some of the best loved children's TV programmes has died. Oliver Postgate was 83. He created Bagpuss, Ivor the Engine, The Clangers and Noggin the Nog. In a poll earlier this year, Bagpuss, a saggy pink cloth cat, was voted the best TV animal of all time. Some of the stars of Coronation Street were out at Manchester's Christmas market last night, collecting money for a mental health charity. The actress who plays Fizz was there, along with some of her co-stars. We caught up with her to find out a bit more about the good cause she was supporting.
In a few minutes we're going to have some carol singing on the town hall steps, and it's just what a gorgeous place to have this, and we're going to raise some funds. We're shaking some buckets for Mood Swings Network, the charity, and just spreading a bit of festive cheer in this rainy day in Manchester. Mood Swings is a mental health charity set up to support people whose lives are affected by mood disorders, and especially this time of year, anyone sort of struggling emotionally, Christmas can be a really down time. So this is a really festive cheer night for us tonight, to spread some good things and have fun and have a German sausage and some mulled wine and forget about all the sadness.
Now, a charity single about a 5-year-old boy from Rochdale is going on sale this week. Never Say Goodbye has been recorded to raise awareness about Edward Ackroyd's condition Duchenne's. Details of how to buy it are coming up in a moment, but first, Ben Bland has been to meet the young star of the video.
To help me through the dark
don't worry, bus drivers aren't getting younger. Little Edward is on board, hoping to drive his song to the top of the charts. He may not sing in the video, but he's certainly not shy of the microphone.
2 to 4 to 6 to 8, 13 shots and 4 and breaks. Is it out of daisy?
Edward, who's 5, suffers from Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a genetic disease that means his muscles are wasting away. By the time he's 10, he'll probably be in a wheelchair. And like most Duchenne sufferers, he's unlikely to survive beyond his late teens.
I'm taking you to the seaside.
Today, though, he's been given free run of this bus for the launch because Stagecoach are advertising the song on all 750 of their buses in Greater Manchester.
Edward can't walk very far. He struggles to get up from the floor. He walks with a rolling gait, which obviously these things cause him problems when he's at school, particularly in the playground.
He's a real character. He's cute as you like, and he's full of fun.
Okay, I won't.
He doesn't, I don't think, really appreciate the situation that he's facing at all, which is great, and long may that remain.
All money made from sales of the song will go towards researching cures and treatments for Duchenne's.
I looked at Heidi and Edward, and I knew what had happened, and really I wrote the song about kind of like that unconditional love that you see from a mother and a little boy, a son. You are the sunshine that brightens my day.
It costs 99 pence to download the song, and it's available on the website sayhellotoedward.com. If you're wondering whether or not to buy it, I'll leave you with a little message from Edward himself.
He's our next song. He's our next song.
How could anyone say no to that? Well, the ice was causing plenty of problems on the roads earlier. With a look at how this afternoon and the rest of the week's looking, here's Michelle Eagleton.
Well, the weather this morning was very, very icy outside and cold. We are seeing highs of between 5 and 7 for the majority of the day, but do wrap up nice and warm because a real mixed bag is expected. Now, this morning was dominated by a lot of heavy cloud along with that ice and a lot of wind coming in from the westerly direction. You'll see from our weather picture that it does creep in and probably didn't finish staying with us until about midday. Still probably going to be around by about 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon, but not as heavy as it was this morning at all. We are going to see the best of the weather this afternoon. Even a few sunny spells are expected, although tonight you can expect a couple of showers creeping in. Not going to stay too long though, because Wednesday and Thursday is looking absolutely lovely, apart from the fact it's still staying chilly, highs of just 4 and 3 on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday and Saturday a mixed bag again, pretty much like today, and highs of 9 on Friday.
This is Channel M's Lunchtime News. The main headlines this Tuesday afternoon. Figures show almost 2/3 of people across Greater Manchester have yet to return their votes in the congestion charge referendum. There are now only 3 days left for ballots to be returned before the results declared on Friday. A teenager shot in the eye in Bury over the weekend remains in a critical condition in hospital. The 18-year-old has a pellet from an air rifle lodged in her brain. Cigarettes and tobacco could soon have to be kept under the counter. Plans have been announced to ban large displays of them from shops. We'll have more on all those stories in our early evening news later on, when we'll be speaking as well to the Oldham man who spent 13 hours stuck in a lift. That's with Andy Crane from 5. But from me and the rest of the Lunchtime team, have a very good afternoon. Bye-bye for now.